All right, guys, today's video is a little bit of a mixture, kind of all over the place. You're actually going to see the end of yesterday's video at the end of today's video. We are playing catch up. I still feel like poop, but we're getting through it, and we had a lot going on. Mike had an appointment this morning, so we were juggling around, getting opened up. It's been a busy day. AJ got the Excursion out. That poor thing's been sitting on the back line, had a battery draw forever, finally got that fixed. Now got fresh batteries in it, runs, drives, shifts, air condition works. That's a weird truck because it was bed lined completely, not due to rust, just due to the guy liked that color. It's got a cool powder coated suspension. It really has gotten lost on the back line. You'll also see a video where I walk across the back line and talk about some title issues and problems and things to be aware of in this video. So it's going to be a little bit of a mixture today. And we got a little square body content too, because, well, we got a little bit of everything. We just had this amazing 1999 7.3 show up. I don't think we said in the end of the video, but I did choose to drive that home. I did drive that home. I did throw some stuff in the back, and I do want to show you guys some stuff on that one while we're walking over here. Full video is loading now for this one. 7.3 Power Stroke. Stick shift, 6-speed manual, just like my personal truck. Long bed, rust-free, originally Colorado, and a crazy amount of service history with the truck. Only 80,000 miles. But when I popped this up yesterday, I remembered a couple things. One, don't let this bother you. If you don't like the cover, just take the cover off. You're going to have some snaps, but that's the only thing you'll have to worry about. But this is when people actually put pride in their vehicle. Somebody took the time to make a full plywood bed cover and then cover it with a fitted bed cover that actually snaps super easy. If we could have smell-o-vision right now, have we got that done yet? Is smell-o-vision, we got it developed? We get finished? Almost done, okay. Smell-o-vision, patented by Davis Auto Sales. Do you smell that? Your grandpa sitting back here in a lawn chair? Yeah, like your grandma's house. This is when people put pride in their trucks. But look at the freaking tailgate, guys. I told somebody it didn't have hardly a scratch. It has a couple scratches. This is the inside of the tailgate of this truck. It shouldn't look like that. It's not been painted. This is dusty, and it's had some stuff rub it, but up under here is going to still be brand spanking new. I'm sure this was put in when it was almost new. They got a little toolbox right here for you to throw your crap in. Toolbox up in the front. What's that rope for? Is that to pull that one back here? Or is that just to tie something down? Okay, that's screwed down. That's just to hold something down. Little eyelets to hold stuff down, a little piece, which worked great. I put 4 boxes of wheels in here, or little ATV tires. They slid in perfect. So I was able to carry stuff home. I wasn't able to carry ATV home, but all I had to do is lift this up. A few people ask about it today. Could you still put stuff in the back? I like 3-wheelers too, JW. No problem. Take this freaking thing off. Leave the bed cover off. Look how perfect the bed is. They did it all. I mean, they did it all. And that paint has been covered forever. And it's not hard to get on and off. A lot of these you struggle and you're pulling and you're forcing it. You don't have to. I have had a lot of reach outs on this truck. Most have had the same thing. They got to check with their wife. They've already bought too many this year, which is true for a few of those guys. They bought quite a few trucks this year. Every one of them hadn't had a minute's question about what this truck is. Matter of fact, one of the guys bought one of the trucks that also came from this collection. Actually, he might have got 2. So he already knew what it was all about. But one more time, I can't get enough of it. And of course, I had the AC running full-fledged on the way home yesterday. I got it this morning, fired it up, walked over to throw some stuff in the trash can real quick. Came back, I had to turn the AC off. It was already cold, too cold. it was fun drive. Fired right up this morning too. Fired right up. One pump of the gas. So another thing, I guess we should do that on one of our schools. We're selling a lot of these trucks to people that have never had a carbureted vehicle. And that's kind of unusual because I grew up having to fix carburetors and work on carburetors. But I guess if I would have had a new vehicle when I started driving or newer, I wouldn't have ever messed with carburetors. So I guess that generation of people my age, some of them never were around a carburetor. Maybe their grandparents had carburetors. But on one of these trucks, the proper protocol, we'll do a whole video about it because I think it'd be interesting. And I'll show you how it works because we'll do it on that frame over there so that we can simulate it and you can see it all in one. One full pump of the gas sets the choke. And for you that don't know, inside the carburetor, the piece that lays over, not the butterflies, but the other piece, lays over, keeps it from sucking the cold air in, starts it, limits the amount of airflow. That's how a truck starts. Then it's going to idle fast. You don't want that. You tap the gas one more time. It unsets the choke or might set it into a halfway mode if it's working properly until fully warmed up. And that's when the truck idles properly. So for those that have never had one, all the way to the floor one time. You don't have to, some of them you had to pump the crap out of it. One nice pump of the gas, fire up. We have all learned about pumping the gas too much around here, and we have definitely had flooded vehicles. That is the only downfall to a carbureted vehicle. Brown Bear is out, and we haven't done a dedicated outside of the video with Kenny about this truck, but in the Mickey Thompson video today, my main focal point is this was one of the only trucks I've ever built, and this truck had a heck of a start prior to us, or we would have never done it, because if not, it would have been a 5-year freaking project like the one y'all are going to see probably tomorrow, which is a Crew Cab 3+3 that we've been working on for 2 years. It was already worked on for 2 years prior to us, and it's got another year left. All right, might be stitched together a little bit here, guys, but Brown Bear, I really had not done a full dedicated video on this truck since it left Kenny's, other than a little bit at Bloomsburg and a little bit when we did our Mickey Thompson video, which we're getting ready to do another one where we're driving this truck. But this was the first truck out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of trucks that we've had come, go, built, sold, lifted, that I told each piece of the team, there's no expense spared. There was a little bit of a timeline because we had to get it finished, so we did have to rush Kenny a little bit on a couple things, but we got him motivated, we got him moving. But this truck had already started off life amazing, and it already had a no expense spared to the point that we got it. Once it went into the off-road shop, again, steering and track bar, not necessary at 4 inches. Power steps, absolutely not necessary, but sure they are nice. But the best part was it allowed me to be able to let go of the reins of the 79, because that was the only truck that had ever met my criteria the way this truck met it. Now, the only downfall is this is a restored truck. That's an original truck. You can never, ever, ever duplicate that truck again unless your grandpa has one in his barn somewhere. You can build other trucks like this. Now, the really staggering part of this is once I started tallying up what we had spent, and there were some favors, there was some fit in here and there was some things that we did, there were some things that we already had that saved on some cost. But this truck here, built to this level, is an almost $200,000 truck. Now, seeing's believing. Everybody that looked at this truck in person has understood it fully. It's staggering for me to stand back and think that one of these trucks that was probably, $15,000, maybe $18,000 new, could have that much money put into it. But the things like the actual steel and original grill, these are not aftermarket, these are not reproduction. These are proper 1979 original GM parts. You don't even want to know what some of that stuff cost or what it would cost. Thankfully, we had some of it. But we do know that no matter where we go with this truck, everybody appreciates it. And the deal with building this truck was, especially in conjunction with the Mickey Thompson stuff, we wanted it to be era correct. We wanted it to be a timeless look, a practical look, and something that everybody from 90 years old to 9 years old looked at and said, I love that truck. It's not the big Bogger 2.0 Davis off-road combination like we had thought about. We really held the reins back a lot, but it is Mickey Thompson canyons, Mickey Thompson Baja tires, 4-inch lift 35s, super aero correct, and every detail, every bolt and nut is just perfect. Kind of like this thing in the back. That's even older. That's a 70 or 71 model, but also nut bolt, fully restored, perfect too. And it fits in the back of this truck amazing. Matter of fact, I think we can put 1, 2, 3. We might fit 5 more back there, AJ. Maybe before the day's out, we can do that. But we are going to do a ride and drive on this truck. I know that some of y'all are still sitting there just making that number make sense in your head. But again, some things you can't put a price on. Some things we do go overboard. But this one was built to be the best specimen we could ever show people. And I think we did it. Everybody that's looked at it. Matter of fact, 3 or 4, and I can go back and screenshot them on Facebook, of guys that do nothing but critique trucks at truck shows, posted this truck. 2 of them tagged us. That's why I knew about it. 2 of them did not. Now, somebody did screenshot it and share it with me, saying, I've been going to truck shows for 30 to 40 years. I've been looking at trucks for 30 to 40 years. 2 of those 4 are actually Ford guys, and said hands down they had never looked at a truck as aero correct, proper in look and design, and I have to attribute that to everybody involved. The original builder that started the project, Brian, Daniel, Johnny, Jake at the shop, Kenny, the interior guy, everybody that touched this truck put their heart and soul into it. It's probably locked. All the way around. Even, I know our upholstery guy was a little aggravated. Kenny made him redo the seats like 3 times. And we still got some Mickey Thompson stuff in the back. Because he wanted the lines to line up perfect. This is being picky. Now, of course, this seat was done from scratch. He wanted these lines to flow through here and flow through here. That didn't even happen from the factory all the time. Hardly ever. He wanted it perfect. So, perfect was the name of the game. The exhaust, guys, look at exhaust. And again, we'll do a full video. I can spend hours on this truck. I love it. I hope you guys appreciate it along the way. We will do a driving video today, but we're on time number 3, making this phone work or not work. And I still want to get across the street, so pause it real quick. Skip over there. Trying to get across the street real quick. Grimace is out front. You can tell which trucks I'm driving. We'll just show it and you guys comment about how you know which trucks I've been driving. But also, here's a good look at the DOR wheel. A little dirty, but we have people stop by every day to look at this truck. And I try my best to keep it here. We are running out of space, but I try my best to keep it here because we do have people that are just traveling through. Again, I've mentioned it 1,000 times. 95 is right through the woods. If you're going to Maine or you're going to Florida, you're passing right by here if you're going north to south. At some point, you're going to pass by here. So you come one exit off, you loop through. What was it, Craig Milliken? Yeah, Clay Milliken. Didn't mean to butcher your name there. But race car driver, he stopped by. Yeah, super legendary. Did not mean to butcher your name there. But, you know, I don't keep up with drag races as much as I should. You know, I know John Force and, you know, some of the names like that. But I had heard of him, and he has a cool YouTube channel. He stopped by and was taking selfies across the street because he literally came off 95, hit the restaurant right there, was going back to 95 and saw all this and stopped. And wish we would have caught him. Like, literally nobody even knew he was here till his selfie started popping up with the monster truck in the background. So when you're traveling, you want to stop by, hopefully Grimace will be here. And the boys, they did get that taken care of on here too. I don't think we've showed that yet either. I don't think we've done dedicated videos on any of the stuff that we got ready for Bloomsburg yet. We'll get back at it. These trucks will be around forever, so I kind of just take for granted that they're always going to be here. So we're going to skip across the road because I got something I want to show you. I have not seen it yet. It literally just got dropped off. All right, my buyer told me he bought something unusual and he was going to drop it off. He dropped it off and left, so I was like, uh-oh, it must not be too great. This is a mobile work office. It could also be easily converted into a camper. On the front, I'll show you in a second, it has an Onan generator, heat and air, built-in power, obviously from the generator. I don't know what they were using it for. You got USB ports, you got a cigarette lighter plug, you got cabinets. I don't know if this was for setting up on a job site, because it's got the Husky things here for your tools. Fiber optic jumpers here. Some, looks like I drew that. Looks like my handwriting. So
they were probably laying wire.
They're probably, yeah, fiber code. So probably doing wire, something where they need to get out, look at plans. Wayland traffic advisor, so that means it's got lights, flashing lights on it. Yep. That's a little bit dirty. It could use to be swept out. There you go. Same kind of setup that a lot of rollbacks have. It's dual axle. It's got a side work light, spare tire on the front. Dang if you don't need those on trailers. And a Cummins Onan commercial generator, just like the bucket trucks we have. That generator's almost $5,000. I know that for sure. It's almost exactly the same as the one on bucket trucks. I mean, it might even be the same part number. David would know. We don't have this online yet, but for any of you guys that are my followers, I think we got like $5,000 tied up in it. I don't have a use for it. He just bought it on a whim. $5,000 will buy it. That generator is $5,000. The heat and air on the roof, that's probably a couple grand. The light bar I know is about $1,000. And you got a trailer. So I don't know what you're going to use it for. There's the built-in fuel tank. So you put the fuel in there for the generator, and it might even have a fuel supply where you can fill up some other stuff. Like I said, guys, you're seeing stuff Loomis. So that's who had it. Networks, Loomis Networks. It's an Intech trailer. You can research Intech trailers. We've researched nothing. I've done no research. It does have a step right here. It does have leveling gear right there. Somebody can make a deal out of that. Make a hunting cabin out of it. I don't know. $5,000. I really don't want to move it. I don't have the space for it. I don't want to yell at him for buying it. So if it just goes away, we'll be happy. Charger bass boats. Is this the only one? Only one. All right. Charger bass boat. Hooked to the Eco Diesel. If you guys ever have a doubt about Eco Diesel, that one has a check engine light that comes and goes sometimes. But aside from that, how many miles we put on this truck? 5,000 or 6,000? 5,000 or 6,000 miles at least. Towing, hauling, doing everything you can imagine. And that truck was previously owned by the owner of this building before I bought it. So it's been local, but we've had great luck. It's got 180,000 miles or something. Does that sound right? A lot of people question 176, almost 180. I was pretty close. Those Eco Diesels, I think it's been great. Of course, I like a Hemi. It'd been doing fine too, unless it lost a lifter like some Hemis do. But Eco Diesel for us has been a great truck. It's towed what not a half ton should have towed. Yeah. A lot of times, AJ's chuckling behind the camera. He's seen me go home with that thing struggling with 15 or 20 four-wheelers on the back of a trailer, or moving some of these big trailers that we've moved. Also, we brought y'all a little bit about that one yesterday. AJ has reclaimed himself to the land of square body lovers. A few people even apologized. He even got his square body shirt on. Look at that. Let's show everybody. Look at that. He has graduated to show everybody his square body love. The brown truck finally got a current inspection, serviced, gone over, officially finally ready. There's nothing needs to be done to that truck. The blue crew cab still waiting on some finishing touches. Turning out pretty good though for a less expensive crew cab. John's over here somewhere finishing up some molding. I think we had some other stuff. Did he come last week while I was gone? He must not have. I thought we had some other stuff, but there's John doing his finessing. He's even made himself a stand for working on fuel tanks. And now that we can see a little better in here, the blue and gray. What's that? We got to do the video on that one. So, and I can drive that one home if you want. Air conditioning works, runs and drives great. Made a couple little punch list items of some simple things, but very simple things that need to be done just to make it to our liking. David's already got the strikers right, the doors right. You can see all the stuff's good. Did some simple adjustments. The air conditioner's working good. Doors closing much nicer than it did yesterday. And then the 1 ton over here, it was so boxed in we couldn't really show it to y'all yesterday. This is a factory K30 81 model, I believe. Is that right? It is K30. Yeah, it's K30. Oh, AJ is excited. He got it right. But this one's got to have some. This one's definitely got to have some tweaking and some love. So before we show you too much on it, I'd rather us go over it, make it a little bit more our style, which a lot of that'll happen tomorrow. The window molding will get replaced. The interior needs some items taken care of. But body, pretty straight, rust-free, West Coast truck as we love. And I think it's an 81. I want to pull the paperwork to be sure. That's about it for this section, guys. We'll stitch in the little part about titles and other stuff. Then we'll finish off with our yesterday's ending video. Thanks for the support, guys. It's hot. Got a customer over there waiting on me. I got to run. Thanks a lot. All right, so I wanted to add this little clip to this part of the video. Don't know where AJ's going to stitch it in, but I feel like you guys like watching the little bit longer length videos. And I don't get a chance, as much as I like to talk about general business. And of course, I also want you guys to see some of the cool tow trucks and wreckers, not the things that are the most exciting to a lot of our followers that love the square bodies, but a big, huge part of our business, whether they're less expensive ones, low mileage, heavy duty ones, or almost brand new ones. We try to keep a pretty good selection, but in the scheme of things, oh yeah, AJ tricked me on that. Fired that truck up. There's always hurdles in business. If it wasn't, everybody would do it. This truck right here has come up on our radar again. I've got it sitting under this carport. It's a beautiful, low mileage utility truck that I could have sold at least a dozen times. 80,000 miles, 2016. It's what everybody wants. It's not a beat up old wore out work truck. But unfortunately, we bought this truck from a wholesaler. And that's not an unfortunate thing. Wholesaler, for those that don't understand, wholesaler means, well, I'll tell you exactly how this one happened. This truck was traded in on a brand new one. Guy buys a new truck about every 8 to 10 years. Traded this in at the Ford dealership. Ford dealership said, it's a little too old for us, we're not gonna keep it. So they reach out to a wholesaler. Wholesaler is a car dealer, no different than us, but they, I don't know, sit and wait for trade-ins instead of going to the auction. That way they can test drive it and ride it and check everything out and make sure it's good. Well, wholesaler buys the truck, calls me, says, JW. Well, of course, we got a lot of them, but you'll see, we even took the window sticker off this one. It got so frustrating, and I'll tell you why. JW, we got this utility truck. It's a 16, it's 80,000 miles, it's blah, 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 blah. It could really use a couple tires, a detail, and it's ready to go. No problem, I want it. Send it to me. They send it to me, we put some tires on it, we service it, inspect it, detail it, put it on the lot. Well, lo and behold, after a couple weeks goes by, Mom is very on top of her paperwork, JW, we hadn't got a title yet. I reach out to the wholesaler. Why haven't we got a title yet? Let me check with the dealer. Dealer checks the finance department, checks this, checks that, finds out there's a delay because of a signature or a problem on the title. Okay, that's when we pull our reins back. Ease up. You're not supposed to sell a truck without a title in hand. Now, we get ahead of ourselves just like every dealer because of the fact, you know, we have every day 2, 3, 4 trucks flowing through, several hundred across the month, 300 to 400 of them sitting around on the lot, and we can't account for everything. So if we know there's a problem, vehicle does not go for sale. There should have been no problem on this one. Truck gets traded in. There should have been no payoff. Everything should have been super smooth until it wasn't anymore. And that's what happened in this case. So 6 months later, 6 months later, this truck is still sitting here. We can't do anything with it. There is no title still. And now we're getting a every couple day update / excuse. Now, have you? The person we're dealing with has been in the car business for 30 years. Not since yesterday, not since the day before, not since 2 years ago, 30 years. They're having to make excuses because the chain of command is making excuses. There's legitimate things that happen. Sometimes a truck comes in and there's a death, so it takes a while. Sometimes a title comes in and it's so old, it has to go through DMV's verification process. There are legitimate reasons for titles to be delayed. But if anything, more than anything, guys, I preach this and I'll still preach it. Ask for a copy of the title. I don't care if you're buying from your next door neighbor that you've known forever or a dealer that you've known forever. Perfect example, 30-year relationship dealing with, and there is a problem. I can't put that problem on him, but nevertheless, it is an issue and it is a problem, and it's got to be resolved one way or the other. So always get a copy of the title. You're not asking for anything out of the ordinary. Ask for it. If there's an excuse or a reason, make sure that excuse or reason is valid. Make sure that it's not an open title. An open title is a very fraudulent problem as well as an illegal problem. The title should not be open. You should not be buying it from customer. You should not be buying it from a customer that says, hey, I bought this from my buddy and I only kept it for a little period of time, so I never put the title in my name. Illegal. Illegal. Illegal on a federal level. That is illegal. When you buy a vehicle, you have to register and title it in your name. You cannot skip or flip that title. We, even as a dealer, are able to reassign a title. We take the time, our protocol, not a legal protocol we have to do, we put every title in our name. So when you get a title from Davis Auto Sales, it says Davis Auto Sales. It doesn't say John Henry or Joe Bob or whoever the previous owner was. It actually has our dealership name. A ton of extra time and effort goes into doing that. Trista is behind the desk right now actually doing a dozen plus titles to go be done. That's just this week's worth of them to be done. So just a little food for thought. Business is not always easy. There are problems. Always check the title. Always ask for the title. It doesn't matter how lock, stock, and barrel and comfortable you are. Ask. Ask us. Even though I'm preaching this to you, so you know we're going to be on the top of our game. If you're buying that Raptor, ask me for a copy of the title. That F450, please ask me. The other reason I preach that now more than ever is there's so many dealers that do not own their inventory. They do not have their titles. They may not even get titles. If a dealer was to sell you that truck that we've been waiting on for 6 months and the title was not secure in hand, the new owner would be 6 months without a title. That's a long freaking time that vehicle cannot be used. It cannot be registered. You cannot issue extra 30-day tags. You cannot do those things any longer. The system is made to take these problems away from you as a consumer. We support it. A lot of dealers bark about it. because they want those loopholes, they want those excuses, they want those problems. We don't. We want smooth, proper transactions. So just remember that, guys. Always ask for the title. Dealership, private, business, it doesn't matter. Somewhere there's a title, it should be able to be seen. If there's a lien against it, verify things with the bank. Don't take the customer's word for it, because you will get burnt 99.9% of the time. So thanks, guys. I also wanted to walk you around some inventory that you may not have seen for a while. We will get across the street and update you on some square body stuff. I did drive this square body home last night and enjoyed every single second of it. Every thumbs up at the stoplight, every wave and thumbs up passing at an intersection. Super cool. People can really, I mean, you can just see this truck in passing and remember your grandpa or great grandpa, or also realize that it is in freaking incredible of a truck. So more to come. Just wanted to throw a little business pitch in there, and also FYI, don't get taken for a quick, easy mistake or scam. Well, it's been a busy day coming back to work, but it's been a pretty enjoyable one. I think me and AJ got in at least 5 or 6 of the 12 square bodies, and did a full driving video on this one. One of them, I guess, is not going to be considered a square body, but that one there. And he's getting ready to put them away. So before he did so, I said, let's go ahead and try to get a little of the confusion straight, because these two trucks got very confusing. And not on purpose, but one was forward and one was backwards. And Christian made a little reel at the end of the day, so Friday. So I do know our reels are working, because I got screenshots from about 5 different people thinking these two trucks were the same. And it was a front shot of that one and a back shot of this one. But nevertheless, they're two cool K20 square bodies. Easy enough to get confused, because they are both on slot wheels. They're both on aggressive mud terrain tires. They look similar height until you put them together. They look similar colors until you put them together. But this is an 84 K20. I have a customer that's traveling and on vacation. He wants to have first dibs on this one. I promised him he could, because he's been very patient on some other trucks. I have another customer interested on the 80. I just finished driving that truck. Checked off most of the fuel, most of the things such as the fuel gauge, driving down the interstate, all the little check over items that we normally need to do. Air condition works freaking ice cold. Really not much left on that one, but changed oil and inspect it. And this other one here is a big block. And if he decides he wants it, we might be adding air conditioning to that one. And then that one there needs nothing. There's not a box to check in this world on that truck. Unless they did not do something in 1979, that truck is as perfect as it can be. No squeaks, no rattles, no issues, ice cold air. That one's ready to rock. So I would drive, you asked me what I'm going to drive home, AJ. I would have drove this one home, but I can't put shit in the back of it, stuff in the back of it, because of the bid cover. Yeah, I already said it now, so no edit. Beep! You guys like to drive that one? If it's got gas? I guess. Okay. All right. Okay. Pick out whatever you want and surprise me. I know you having this. The reason AJ asked me what I want to drive home is not because he really cares what I'm going to drive home. It's because we don't have room to put everything away. We just finished shoveling the 10-door away. We got to figure out somewhere to put Grimace. We are slam freaking out of space. And a lot of people do ask, why am I selling this truck? Because originally I said this truck's not for sale. The reason I am offering that truck for sale is because Brown Bear replaced it. So that's it. That's good. Thanks, guys. It doesn't matter, though. It's sideways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep on going. It's still rolling.
You still going? Okay. All right. He had me on a time limit, because if you do the phone the other way, for you guys that don't understand, sometimes when I say something about the phone, up and down videos for some platforms and sideways videos for some platforms. So we struggle to rush and get everything in. So since we're not rushed, I did a video on this GMC, and I can tell you I've had 2 customers come by and look at it, and that is hands down the cleanest under $30,000 truck you're going to buy, period. It is not a Duramax. It is a gas. So be it. The gas is going to run circles around the diesel as far as maintenance goes. and it is clean as a pin on Michelin tires. Another cool thing, while we got a minute and we're not rushed, I could read it out of my phone line by line, but I left my phone laying on my desk so I wouldn't get interrupted, because this time of the day my phone does not stop ringing. I just had a customer that bought a square body from us. He also owns another square body that came from us. He did not buy it from us directly. He bought it from the guy that did buy it from us, which bought another truck from us. Long story, truck went down the line. He ended up with it. But I just want to give a little bit of feedback. And I love when we get this kind of feedback. Daniel gets this kind of feedback all the time at the shop, because of the fact of what Johnny, Brian, Jake can pump out down there, and then what my uncle over here does, and Dave over here does, and what AJ does, and what Christian does. This guy has 2 trucks. He doesn't know if he's going to sell both to us, maybe sell one to us, let us sell one for him, let us buy one for him, or maybe even modify the other one further. So he's been up in the air a lot about what he's going to do. And the last thing was, he said, timeline. And I said, well, selling it, there's no crystal ball. Might be a day, might be an hour, might be a month. I don't know. If we do the upgrades you're thinking about, probably 60 days. Had to run it past Daniel, et cetera. I said, but whatever we say, we're going to try to stick to, because he's already been through a build process with us. When he came and bought the truck, it was almost what he wanted, but then he had a list of other things he wanted to do. I told him, I'm sure he's like everybody, said, I've heard that before. I've heard that before. And went home semi-happy. Well, the next day he got an update. The next day he got an update. A couple days went by, he got an update. I feel like we beat the timeline by at least a week or two. And we did great on that project. So his response back to me saying, we try to stay on our timelines, very good. He said, JW, you don't have to say anything else. He said, you're the only place that I call trying to spend money that returns my phone call, always sends a message back, even if you're busy, and always does what you say you're going to do and follow through on it. And he said, you don't know how far that goes. And some of these guys have endless money, and some of them are working off budgets that they shouldn't even be spending in the first place. We treat everybody the exact same. And we do follow through. We do give updates. Sometimes the updates, Daniel's sending me a picture to send to the customer. Sometimes I'm sending the picture to send to him, to send to the customer. But we always, AJ, run across the street, snap me a picture, please. Let me know what the brown truck or the blue truck. Sometimes I can't physically get from that office door to that shop door in a day's time. Many, many days go by that I walk out of here, JW, telephone. Hey, JW, you got 1 second? A customer walks up, or a customer pulls up as I'm trying to walk out. There's been days that I have needed to go across the shop at 9 o'clock and have never made it across there. They've closed the gate at 6:30 and I never went across. So thank you guys for understanding. We get it done. I don't know how some days, but we do get it all done. And we do have very realistic timelines. Just like I told him, unless something we can't get, and if it's something we can't get, there's very few things we can't make. But unless it's something like that, we're going to make it happen. We'll get done on a good timeline. And again, he's like, all right, we'll figure it out. No problem. Have the truck shipped in. We got the shipper, our personal guy, going to pick them up, bring them in, get the process started. We'll figure the rest out. So that's where we're at today, guys. I guess, AJ, those two need to go away for sure. For sure. I mean, all these really need to go away. I guess give me the friggin' Volkswagen back there to drive. I don't care.
I know that one of those do need to be driven.
Yeah, we need to put some fuel in them. So leave me one of those out. We'll put some fuel in it, put some fresh splash in it. Tow truck guys, we are finally back organized on tow trucks. All of our wreckers are over there, equipped and ready to go. You can get those trucks in tow home tomorrow. Dollies, skates, rollers, chains, binders, everything you can put on a truck. Rollbacks, same way. AJ's got everything packaged and ready to go. If you pick one out, he's going to load you up with safety gear. He's going to load you up with straps and chains and everything else, and you're ready to go. Inventory's all on the website, davis4x4.com. And we do, I told Christian earlier, I hadn't told AJ, we're going to do a giveaway for a bench at the end of the week. Tomorrow we'll announce it. We've also got a really cool other announcement to tell you guys. And if you are local, I don't have a way to ship a bench. So you're going to have to be local to win, unfortunately, or send